today. So I'm taking care of today's session. So basic fundamentals of hardware. Okay, so you know how to check system configuration and what is meant by system configuration. You got that question. You have to tell about what is CPU, what is RAM, what is your hard disk array, SSD, and what type of operating system you are using. Okay, if in case you have a graphic cards inside, you should tell about it. Okay, not only as a question, guys. Um, Another important is when we are using a computer. Water bottle కూడా తెచ్చాను. Okay. Not only for the interview question, guys. You have a computer. You want to install an application. Okay. Or maybe you feel your system is slow. The important thing is you have to check what is your system configuration. For example, I'm running some application. The system become very slow. Why my system is slow? So because of the application is consuming the physical RAM and processor, hard disk kind of stuff. But before going to that one, if you know your system is suitable to run that application, you can run. For example, my brother is a mechanical engineer. He use SolidWorks application. So with his 4 GB RAM, he tried to install that application. So it has become very slow. He's unable to install it also. Okay. So then he upgraded his RAM to 4 plus 8 GB, totally 12 GB, because the SolidWorks required at least 8 GB RAM. And he is successfully installed and is working. But system is little bit slow. Why? Because of still it need more RAM capacity to run other computer things, right? So that's the point here. So better to know what is your system configuration and better to know individual components of your computer also. Okay. It's not yours. Where is mine? This is mine. This is my class content. It is system cabinet. What is a system cabinet? So you can see if you take a normal computer, so this people call it as a CPU. It is not CPU, guys. It is a system cabinet. We call it as a system cabinet. The box we call it as a cabinet. Inside this system, there's other components are there like a motherboard. On the motherboard, CPU, okay, and the CPU fan and back panel connectors are there. If you see back panel, you can able to connect uh, uh, keyboard, mouse kind of stuff. Okay, and power cables we can connect. So expansion, okay, if you put any graphic cards, that is also we can able to connect the market connection. Front panel connections are there. It is little older, but still it is called as a cabinet. Okay. Next one. What is there inside this cabinet? So it contains a CPU inside. What is CPU? Central Processing Unit. And it contains a RAM, ROM, motherboard. Actually, all these CPU, RAM, ROM things on the motherboard only. The hard disk is also connected to your motherboard, which is inside. CD, DVD, which is also inside. SMPS is okay. Of course, nowadays we are not using floppy disk, and CD, DVD also almost all removed. Only old type of cabinets are having CD, DVDs, but still any new cabinets we are seeing. And most of the cabinets, we are not using CD, DVD much. If you need, then the people use the external CD, DVD. That too, CD is gone. DVD, that is also very less people are using because we are getting external hard disk, pen drives we are having. Outside of the cabinet, we are connecting keyboard as an input device, a pointer device is a mouse, and monitoring. Yeah, of course, monitor we are connecting as a output our display. Okay, printer and scanners, touch screens, mics, mic and speakers, card readers, Bluetooth devices. These are all outside of your cabinet. Okay, so simple to say, it is a CPU, central processing unit. What is central processing unit? It is your main computer. It is the brain of your computer. Okay. So some people call it as a processor. Some people call it as a CPU. Both are same. What is the main function of this CPU? Arithmetic and logical unit. Arithmetic and logical functions will happen. All calculations happens inside the CPU. CPU means this small chip only. Okay. So these CPU manufacturers, there is different CPU manufacturers are there for both the mobile phone and as well as laptops and desktops. So in the market for laptops and desktop, the major CPU manufacturers are Intel and AMD. Someone is unable to join. What happened? Yeah, 32 members are joining. 1 second, guys. Okay, so meeting ID is needed. 1 second, guys. I will. This is does not have any part. Okay. 1 second. 1 second. This is do not have any specific meeting ID. So, okay, continue. Okay, Intel and AMD are a main manufacturer of our processors, both for laptops and desktop. Other um, processor manufacturers are there, like a Via and Motorola and desktop. And of course, mobile phone also having a processor. Nowadays, we are using smart mobile and the specific processors also be well known nowadays. For example, Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, MediaTek or Exynos. This is a Samsung proprietary Exynos processor it is. Yes, you are checking about a processor. Every processor having some specification, like speed of the processor, width of the processor. What happened? Tick, tick, tick. What happened? This guy is unable to join. Okay. FSB, cache memories, number of cores per processor, number of threads per processor. Is the virtualization technology is enabled or not? These things you have to check it. When you want to buy a new processor or you are already having a processor, so these things you have to check it. For example, in my laptop, I have a processor. I will show you my processor. Very simple way, like a task manager, performance and CPU. See i5 10210U. Okay, model type is U type it is. At the rate 1.6 gigahertz. See it is one socket, of course, 4 core processor, 8 logical, virtualization is enabled, and the L3 cache memory is 6 MB. So same thing, I will try to find it. So I want to buy a processor that is 10210 U type of processor. I want to know about this processor. I checked in Google. So this is Intel. You can see ark.intel.com or intel.com. Any website you can open. So you can open it. I'm open directly from www.google.com. Sorry, intel.com. Okay, what generation you will find? So it's the 10th generation processor it is. Okay, and a model. Mobile means not a mobile phone, it is laptop. Okay, it's a laptop model processor. It is not desktop model, it is. 4 core, 8 generations, max turbo frequency, base frequency it is, and cache memory. Of course, other details you can see, this bus speed and it support 64 GB RAM and a RAM model also you can see. These are the suitable RAM for this particular processor. For example, in this laptop, I have a 16 GB RAM. Now I want to upgrade. So can I upgrade to 32 GB? Yes, because it support maximum of 64 GB. Okay, so I can upgrade. So that is also information I know now. Next, what kind of RAM I have to purchase? Now DDR5 is also released into the market. Which RAM is suitable? How can I know? So it is telling what type of RAM, DDR4, this particular number, or a DDR LP DDR4 or DDR3, this particular model are suitable. And that too depends upon my laptop RAM slot. I can choose what type of RAM is supporting. Okay. This is a built-in graphics of a processor. And the graphic in the processor itself having some graphical memory. So what type of graphical chip inside it is showing? Not in my laptop, guys. It's inside my processor. Integrated graphics. Okay. And what kind of display support it is there? If I want to insert a graphic card, how much graphic card support it is there? Okay. And what is the resolution support is there? If I am using any 4K support is there, of course, and max resolution HDMI port is showing like this. The pin configuration is showing here. And see, it is 64-bit processor. Instruction set is a 64. Okay, other instruction extensions. One more important thing is already I said, is it having a virtualization technology? Is there or not? So what is this virtualization technology? When you are buying new laptop or a desktop, any new processor is supporting this virtualization technology. Compulsory check it and make sure that is should be there. What is this virtualization technology? Guys, this is my laptop. Think like this is a my laptop. Okay, this is my laptop. I am using Windows 10 operating system. For example, for example, so afternoon I got a batch. There I have to teach Linux operating system, right? Linux OS I have to teach. But how can I teach Linux OS if I'm having Windows 10? Then I have to buy or take another Linux machine, connect, put some camera in it, or sharing screen is available, then I will share the screen. And the next batch, I have a Windows Server 2019. This batch I have to take it. And next is a Ubuntu I have to take it. Ubuntu is also Linux, but Ubuntu Linux separately. CentOS or Red Hat OS I have to tell separately. It's difficult, right? So how many machines I need to do it? Okay. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do is, this is my virtual box. Virtual box
Excuse
is
me.
from Oracle. It's a free. Yeah, someone is trying to speak. Tell me.
So sometimes your audio is not audible, like it's buffering.
My audio is
Due to network issue, I guess.
think so. Yeah, network signal is also very small. And I have a cough also. Okay, I will try to speak louder. Okay, guys, this is Oracle Virtual Box. Oracle Virtual Box is a free tool. Anybody can download and use in their desktop or laptop. Of course, it support a maximum of operating system like both Windows and Linux operating system. It support. I think Sai processor already showed VMware workstation. So that is a paid type. Means you need a license to use it. This one is not required any license to use it. Okay. And it is also simple to use. See, here it is. I installed a Ubuntu operating system for my DevOps practical. This is Windows 10 I installed recently to practice some application kind of stuff. Originally, I built this Windows 10 for practice my data engineering related project, but I need to do some Java application, so then I am doing this one. This is Oracle Enterprise Linux. This is CentOS operating system. This is voice ticket for a ticketing tools explanation purpose. Okay, see it is. So I'm working on the system. It is simple to do. It is simple. I'm trying to start this virtual machine. So I customize the RAM also. You can see in the virtual machines how much RAM is required. That much only will assign. See, I assign 3 GB RAM. I can make it 4 GB. I can make it 2 GB also. For example, this is only 512 MB RAM because it's a minimal operating system. I can use anytime, anywhere. It's not required more RAM capacity to work on this particular machine. And if you see, this is 6 GB RAM because it contains more applications inside. So if I open, it will. If I put a 4 GB RAM, it freezes. So I put a 6 GB RAM. If necessary, I can increase the RAM. Physical, it's very difficult to increase and decrease. Direct, okay, but here it is. I can increase the RAM maximum up to how much RAM I am not utilizing. So it is 7.3 GB is available from my 16 GB RAM physical RAM. 7.3 is available. So I can use up to 7 GB. Physical system become little slower, but I can use up to 7 GB. If I background applications, if I close, I can use it for more. Okay. So that is maximum 7 available. So if I start this one, 6 GB, it will take it from my 7 GB. So obviously, I will lose around, I have to run only with the 1 GB availability RAM. Okay. If I start this virtual machine, this 6 GB consumed from my physical RAM only. My physical RAM availability is 7 GB. So 6 GB consumed from 7 GB, my availability RAM become 1 GB only. Okay. So if you want, I can able to open, but it's okay now. But this is for virtualization. So I create a Linux virtual machine and I do all my practicals as a physical machine. It is very easy to share the screen.
Sir,
Okay. Yeah, tell me.
sir, what about mobile external item and or no machine?
Yeah, mobile
They
external,
are
right?
I think they are terminals to connect virtual machines.
Very good.
But what
This
about
is
this Oracle? I didn't hear about Oracle.
okay. Now I have a Linux machine. Either it is a virtual machine or a physically Linux server is there, or maybe my Linux virtual machine in my AWS cloud, or maybe it is in Azure cloud, maybe it is in some remote physical server it is. I want to connect using how to connect a Linux machine remotely using SSH, right? We are connecting through SSH. So to connect it, so one is putty. Putty is a very easy application. You can use Putty, give the your remote Linux machine IP address and select SSH protocol, click open, and then you can do it. If it is a, AWS virtual machine, so put your that URL is there, no public URL, and then go to authentication. So somewhere credentials, you have to give the private key and click open. You can able to connect. Same goes for the mobile extreme. Mobile extreme is also same kind of application. You can see I am also connected to multiple virtual machines, actually multiple machines, Linux machines to work on it. Okay. So here also with a different application with protocols you can connect SSH, Telnet, RSH. Okay, like RDP, VNC, FTP, TFTP, different protocols works in this one. Okay.
Okay, sir.
It's just a terminal. You're right. It is just a terminal to connect or a remote machine with a different protocols, including SSH. Most of the recent cloud related and DevOps related things, people are using this AWS cloud virtual machines directly. But if you are using your AWS virtual machine, it is cost you. Okay, if you leave the machine like that for 1 day, 2 day, so they will charge, right? Your free time will be completed. So, if possible, so try how to install a virtual machine, the application, and how to create a virtual machine, how to install OS in the virtual machine. So do that. Yeah, tell me, Himabind.
Nothing, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So why we need this virtualization technology must be enabled. How to check it? Simple. Go to the task manager, performance, CPU. You can see virtualization enabled. You can see virtualization is enabled. Okay, it means I can able to create and run virtual machines in my system. Of course, one more is there that is called a Hyper-V. Hyper-V. What is this Hyper-V? Microsoft is providing this virtualization platform. Of course, it may not be available in your system. May not be available in your system. If you go to this turn Windows features on or off, you can see this Hyper-V. This is also virtualization platform. You can create and run the virtual machines. I said it may not be available in your system. Why? Because of your Windows operating system, Windows 8, Windows 10 or Windows 11, home edition, it is not available. Not available in a home editions. You try, you see it's not there. Check it, your operating system is home edition or not. Check it is home edition, so it is not available. If it is a pro edition, it is available. If it is enterprise edition, it is available. So check it. My OS is Windows 10 Pro Edition. I have it. If it is showing Windows 10 Home Edition or Windows 11 Home Edition, that feature is not available in your system. Okay. So Hyper-V is also one of the virtualization platform available in your desktops. Okay. Why we should know number of uh, cores per processors, logical processors, because single processor cannot handle the multitasking, huge multitasking kind of stuff. Multi-core, multi-threading can able to handle the processor kind of stuff. Okay, and of course, I will go back to these things. Okay, it is nothing but very simple. You have a processor, one single chip, right? So one single processor is there. Now it is um, uh, to make it performance good way, what they will done, so they add a two processor as a single chip, the cache memory, shared cache memory. Okay, so this is called a dual core processor, means two processor into one single chip, shared cache memory. And another one is they make a one processor divided into two parts. This single processor only, but this is core 0, core 1. It's a two-core processor, core 2 geo processor model it is. And next one is four-core processor. You know, when you nowadays mobile phones are not keep telling this one, but earlier days smart mobile phones are telling they're advertising. So quad-core processor, octa-core processor, deca-core processor. It is nothing. One single processor is divided into multiple processors. So it is quad-core processor, four cores in single processor. And what is this multi-thread? Multi-threading is nothing but a one single core is further logically divided into two cross processors. Okay, this is four core processor. Number of cores per processor, four core processor means that 8 core means each core is further logically divided. The more number of cores, more number of threads improves CPU performance. And higher the cache memory also improves the performance. Because of the cache memories in core processors will separately build. What is the use of this cache memory, guys? Cache memory actually load instructions and data from the RAM. Okay, from the RAM load the data and instructions from RAM to cache memory, from cache memory to processor, and from processor to cache memory, and cache memory to your RAM. So this cache memory actually speed up your process. Speed up, line up, everything is done by your cache memory only. Okay. And of course, I will get back to this how cache memory is there. So before that one, some 2, 3 points are there. So we have to keep in mind. Instruction set is 32-bit in 32-bit processor. In a processor, 32-bit processor, 64-bit processor. Of course, 16-bit processor is also there, 4-bit processor like that. But currently, we are all using 64-bit processors only. We are not using 32 much. Very less, very few places. Older system 32-bit. Now all the systems are 64-bit. What is that? That in 64-bit processor, the one single instruction size is 64-bit size. It means the more complexity of the instruction can be increased. The bigger instructions we can able to give. Okay. And next one is the memory allocation for the 64-bit processor increases. For example, I want to run a big application. It is each instruction is very bigger. So each instruction is bigger. To load into the processor, we need a bigger RAM. But 32-bit won't agree to use the bigger RAM. The RAM limitation is there. But 64-bit processor will enables bigger RAM. Already I showed i5 processor up to 64 GB RAM. I can use it. Some processor like Xeon processor is there for server side. We can use 64 GB, 128 GB, even up to 4 terabytes of RAM is also available. Not only 4 terabytes of hard disk, 4 terabytes of RAM is also available. Okay. So why it is? Because it's the 64-bit is allow to use bigger RAMs. Okay. Memory allocations increases with the 64-bit. So complex instructions and complex instructions, bigger instructions, big application, complex applications, we can able to run in a 64-bit. Not only that, there is a certain features like a virtualization technology available in 64-bit. Okay, and it support secure boot kind of stuff also. How to identify a processor or an application or something drivers, whether it is a 32-bit or 64-bit and compatibilities. Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm keep telling if you have a doubt or if you are unable to understand or you miss the point, you can interrupt me and ask me. Okay. Just I'm keep telling this because I become habituated to tell like that only because your HCL batch is no interactions and that. So, but no problem, guys. Anytime you can interrupt me, you can ask me the question, or if you don't understand, also you can ask me again. If you are in case you miss the point, okay. Also, you can interrupt me and ask me, no problem. But I'm just keep explaining that one. Okay. So you have an application or maybe you have some drivers are there or maybe operating systems are there or maybe a processor something is there, some specifications. So which type of architecture it is, 32-bit or 64-bit? How to understand? If it is 32-bit, it will label as a 32-bit. Sometimes x86, sometimes i386, sometimes i586 also. Any four type of indication represent 32-bit only. But what is this x86? X86 has a specification that is Intel. Because Intel is manufacture a processor called 8086, 80186, 80286. Same that architecture only still we are using. Okay, that's it is. To x86 represent Intel, but x86 also representing some places as a 32-bit. Okay, for a 64-bit, x86 underscore 64 means Intel 64-bit. X64 means just is a 64-bit. Okay, AMD AMD 64. It is a AMD type of processor 64. Sometimes just for 64 also it will represent AMD 64. Just for because Intel is not highly launched 64 earlier. Most of the processor in earlier days is 32-bit only. But AMD launched 64. Okay. Very high before Intel is more into the 64-bit processor. AMD is launched and used. That's why it is AMD 64 is become general words. Okay. The system architecture, either it is 32-bit system or a 64-bit system. You can see again about your PC. So what is my system architecture? 64-bit operating system and 64-bit processor. In that cases, what I have to do? If my system is 32-bit system, operating system must be 32-bit. And device drivers, for example, for my graphic card or maybe my audio chipset, I want to install a graphic drivers or my NIC network interface card is there or my Wi-Fi built-in Wi-Fi is there. I want to install a device drivers. I have to use only 32-bit. Or maybe I connected to a printer. I have to use only 32-bit printers. 32-bit drivers only. Applications can be work 32-bit or lower bit like a 16 also works with a WoW 32 support. Don't worry. Applications, we cannot use higher bit, but we can use little lower bit as well. Not very lower. Next, 64-bit processors. Okay. Next is 64-bit processor, 64-bit operating system only we should use it. And device drivers also, you must use 64. Sometimes you have a system and you are connect a printer and you try to install a driver showing it is not compatible. And also you have to check there the drivers are as per our system is 32-bit or 64-bit or not. నా వాయిస్ గట్టిగా వస్తుంది ఓకే తీసుకోమ్మా నీకు డిస్టర్బ్ కానంత వరకు పర్లేదు ఓకే ఓకే okay. The applications can be 32-bit or 64-bit. In Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, the built-in WoW 64 services let you to use 32-bit application. Not every application, but some applications you can use it. Okay. I want to tell something. I want to add. No. Okay. What is this? This no arc. Anybody can guess? No problem.
No, sir.
So no arc. You know, when we are in the field, so we download a Linux based supporting packages. Some are specified with 32. Some are specified with 64. Some are specified with no arc. We don't know. We call it as a notch kind of stuff. But later we realize no architecture means it we can use on 32-bit and 64. No architecture specified packages. Okay. So maybe it is useful in future. It is. So when you see a Linux based packages, generally Windows based package is not much confusion, but Linux based packages. So no architecture means you can take the package, you can use on 32-bit type of Linux system or a 64-bit package of system. Okay. Okay, this is some points. This is a troubleshooting part, guys. Okay, so troubleshooting part after 15-20 minutes, I will start that point after a small break. Okay, and what is RAM and ROM? Both are primary memories. What are the primary memories? RAM and ROM. RAM, ROM. Generally, we differentiate what is RAM and ROM. Okay, random access memory, read-only memory. Random access memory is a temporary memory. Read-only memory is a permanent memory. RAM is a volatile. ROM is a non-volatile memory. Okay. So what is this volatile memory? When you turn off your device, for example, my current loading data, what are the data we are looking at, what are the pictures we are looking at, that is entirely loaded into our RAM only, from hard disk to RAM, and we can able to see RAM to processor. Of course, we can able to see the data which is inside our RAM only. We are accessing data, that is, we are whatever we are working, entire thing is in your RAM only. But when I turn off this laptop, what will happen? Entire data will be lost. Okay, that is volatile memory. So when you turn off your device, data will be lost. What is non-volatile? For example, you have a pen drive. Whether you connect or disconnect, data will be in the pen drive only. So that is, data is available even the power is off. Example, hard disk, ROM, SSDs, pen drive, SD cards. It is there. Okay. And I added this important point here. It is some people having doubt. Okay. The RAM actually we can able to extend the RAM. We can add more RAM if possible. We can remove, we can replace the RAM. But ROM is not like that. It is fixed on your motherboard. You cannot change ROM chip frequently. Like normally as a RAM, you cannot change. If you want to change, you need a chip level troubleshooting candidate. So in case only it is a ROM related problem, then he can able to do it. Like a BIOS related problem, he can try it. RAM is a random access memory. Again, it's a primary storage for CPU. Of course, it is temporarily stored with that. Temporary, yes, really. It's a volatile memory. When your power is off, data will be lost. Okay, when power is off, data is lost. Okay, not only that one, guys. Now I open this application, the browser, I open it. Entire data is stored in our RAM only. If I close it, it gone from the RAM. So it is not to store, either it is power on or power off. It never matter. So once it's done with the data, it automatically remove from the RAM. So that's the point I trying to say. RAM also two basic types. One is static RAM, another one is dynamic RAM. The static RAM, SRAM, and this SRAM is much faster than dynamic RAM. It is used as a cache memory, which is inside your CPU. Actually, inside your CPU only, this cache memory. Only for understanding, we write outside, but this cache memory is inside a your CPU. Dynamic RAM. What is the dynamic RAM? So DRAM actually used as a separate RAM will be inserted on a CPU. Okay. This DRAM further develop into SDRAM. The SDRAM further develop into DDR SDRAM, then DDR2, DDR3, DDR4. And DDR5 is also into the market. Currently 12th generation, 13 generations Intel processors are running, right? It is supporting for that. Not all models. RAM is always, we see RAM as a size manner only. 2 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, like that size matters only. Of course, and frequency. Frequency compatibility of a RAM is also important with the CPU. Different RAM models, DDR3, DDR4, DDR5, and voltage levels also there. For example, I have a laptop. Now, I want to add a 8 GB to my 4 GB RAM. So already 4 GB is there. I want to add 8 GB. How to add it? Is my CPU is compatible for that one? Is the model is compatible to my motherboard and CPU? What is the voltage level specified for this particular motherboard? So that voltage level only have to add it. Okay, it's not easy like it is RAM just to go remove and insert it. It may not happen. So RAM should be compatible with your both motherboard and processor also. Okay, here it is how to replace the RAM, guys. When you are, is it a laptop or desktop? When you are remove or reinserting anything, whether it is CPU or RAM or hard disk, first of all, turn off your system completely. Shut down your laptop, shut down your computer. Any extra power battery kind of stuff is there, remove the battery. Laptop having battery, remove the battery. Okay. And in case of systems or laptop, remove the power cord also. Remove not a switch off. Remove the power cord because AC main supply also having negative power supply. So that is also danger. So remove all the power sources. Open the cabinet and judge which one you want to remove kind of stuff. Okay. So here it is. In a RAM manner, check CPU model specifications. What is it is supporting you to your motherboard and supporting to your processor size wise, speed wise, memory type wise. Size wise 4 GB, 8 GB, speed. It is a megahertz frequencies you can see, and memory type means DDR3, DDR4, like kind of stuff. Okay, check motherboard specifications, number of slots, and memory type. Okay, because DDR3 RAM is there. I want to remove DDR3 and put a DDR4, it won't work. I want to remove DDR3 and I put a DDR4 inside, it won't work. Okay, because different RAMs won't insert it into same type of slot. Okay, this is RAM slot. This is desktop model, this is laptop model. Okay, and different voltage levels also there. So compulsory check with the old RAMs. Better to check like I have a faulty RAM is there. Okay, already system is it is not working, RAM is some problem is there, or maybe I want to replace a 4 GB RAM with the 8 GB RAM. So how to do it? Better to open the 4 GB RAM, check the details. Better to find a match with that 4 GB RAM in the 8 GB RAM, or maybe another 4 GB also. Okay, so you can easily find with the older RAMs. Okay, of course, different packages are there. So we are not using SIMs. We are using DIM, guys. This DIM package is generally for desktop model. This is a DIM package, usually for desktop model. SODIMM packages for laptop and mini PCs. So why I highlighted these two things? Here is the reason. I have a laptop. I want to buy a 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM. So then I search in Amazon, search for a for 8 GB RAM. I purchased it. Now I want to insert into my laptop. But what I purchased? This big RAM. So it is cannot be inserted into this one. Okay. Because SODIMM packages are smaller and it is suitable for laptops. DIM packages are bigger. Bigger means larger. It is like a scale type. 15 centimeter scale is a small scale. So that size only. Okay. So it cannot be we cannot insert. So we cannot interchange also. So that's the point. You can search in Amazon also. Go to Amazon.com. search for 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM. Check different packages, desktop related, laptop related, SODIMM package, DIMM packages. Guys, how much we are telling, that is understanding is only 5 to 10% only. But you are searching, you are trying with Google Images or the sites like Amazon and all, also very helpful. RAM 8 GB, DDR4. See it is. You can see the specifications, the package type. So can you see it is showing a 8 GB RAM, but Corsair model very good, also very good looking. Okay, but it is laptop RAM. Sorting. I want to insert into my desktop, so it is not suitable to my desktop. It is suitable for laptop. Okay, so how it is look like? So this is for a laptop. Okay, just for example, that is SSD. Mhm. Any other? Yeah, this is. So for example, when I search, I find this 8 GB RAM. This is desktop. See how it is look like? It is little larger or taller, what we can say comparison. Okay, and also you can check the compatibility. So DDR5 and what is their frequencies and compatibilities. Okay, so and this type of compatibilities there are not. See, it is this RAM having a some heat sink kind of stuff, right? So it is a RD RAM type. 32 GB kit, it means 264 GB DDR5, and this is the frequency. And both are combinedly, it is 10,000. So of course, no problem. Even though go to these processors, go to other kind of stuff. So you will understand better way as compared to my explanation. You search it, you'll gain more knowledge. Okay, quicker you will get to know it. Okay, understand guys how the desktop RAM is look like, laptop RAM is look like, and the laptop RAM is called as SODIMM packages. Anything happen?
Understood, sir.
Yeah, this is again troubleshooting of RAM related issues. And here it is. RAM you put it in your desktop for a very longer time, and a lot of holes and a lot of dust will be happen on the RAM slots, and as well as RAM edges also. On these edges, see this is a gold plating is there now. On these edges, it is dust will be found. How to clean up? How to clean up? You can use eraser to clean these edges and use the hand blower to blow out the dust on it. Do not use your mouth to poof. Why? Because of the dust will go into your nose. First thing is. Second one is your water things are there no, from your mouth. It will on the motherboard. It may damage your motherboard. Don't use vacuum cleaners because vacuum cleaner is very high powerful sucking and both the sides like what we can say blowing and as well as sucking both side. Vacuum cleaners are very powerful. You cannot control that much thing, and it is a motherboard is very sensitive. Okay, I will explain if possible. I will explain this troubleshooting things. Okay, this is a actual RAM. What we can say um, diagram. So you have a keyboard, mouse, monitors, hard disk, SSDs, printers. These are all the devices are connected to I/O controllers. These I/O controllers will understand the data what you are given from your input devices or storage devices, and what data it should be give it to output devices like a monitor or maybe a printer like that. Okay, both IO devices. will be connected to IO controller. IO controller understand what kind of device it is, where it is located, and what kind of data transaction it is doing. IO controller put this data and instruction to the RAM. RAM load your instructions and data and give it to cache memory, which is inside your CPU. Cache memory to CPU, it will give. Why middle cache memory is there? Cache memory is as speed as CPU. RAM is not much speed as a CPU. RAM is not much speed as CPU. So to balance the speed and also increase the accuracy in the data transmission, cache memory is used, which is built inside your CPU only. Okay, CPU process your data and give it to your cache memory to RAM, RAM to IO controllers, and what are the output devices are there, it will display. And these transactions are controlled by North Bridge and South Bridge. Between your RAM and CPU, North Bridge, between your RAM and IO controllers and other IO devices, South Bridge will take care of. Okay. In a cache memory also, levels are there. Level 1, level 2, level 3 cache memories are there. Okay. So this is about your RAM. And next we will go to the ROM. And in a ROM, we have a BIOS information is there. Remaining, you can easily read it. So then we'll see. What is a ROM? So first important CPU, next is RAM. ROM, even if there is a issues with the ROM, only few kind of small understanding is important, but really we cannot do anything with your ROM. ROM does not have any specific sizes, guys. RAM you buy 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, but ROM you cannot buy like that in the market because it comes with your motherboard. Actually, there is no ROM chip. We call it as a BIOS or UEFI chip nowadays. What is ROM? Read-only memory, non-volatile memory. Okay, it is contains information built in. Okay, these ROM chips are different. ROM chips are there. Depends upon the requirements. Means a chip manufacturer, ROM chip manufacture ROM chip and put instructions inside at the time of manufacturing only. That is ROM chip. So you cannot remove, you cannot do anything. But you are some embedded system programmer or IoT related kind of stuff. Okay, so you want to put some program yourself into the ROM chip. Then you have to buy PROM chip. PROM chip is a empty chip. You take it and burn the instructions inside. That's it. You cannot erase it. You cannot modify it. That is PROM chip. A programmable read-only memory. It means if you can able to program it, that is only once. Erasable programmable memory, that is you can erase it, that's it. Electrically erasable programmable memory, it means you take a PROM chip and you program it and now it is working good, let it go on. Something you want to modify in a future, you can modify in the PROM chip. Or maybe you want to erase it and reload a program, another program, so you can do it. So it is rewritable type. Okay. So that's a history of ROM chip. Guys, RAM and ROM differences commonly is important. So compulsory, what is the difference between RAM and ROM? Okay. And ROM types, RAM types, of course, important. ROM, again, it is fixed chip. ROM has a program called BIOS, basic input output system. It is nothing but firmware or frameware. Both you can spell it, guys. There is no wrong in it. Okay, English spells are different from British to Americans. So firmware or firmware. Okay, it is both are there. So spelling is same. Okay, so firmware, what is this firmware and all? So when you start your system, whether it is mobile phone, or it is smart mobile or normal mobile or a laptop, desktop, any electronic device, not electrical device, electronic device, you press the power button. This firmware, it will tell you how to start. Even for ACs, you power on the AC, so what mode it will be start? What should be displayed? Whether all the connectivities are correct or not. Okay, so that is will be decided by firmware inside that board only. So like this, in our computer, the firmware we call it as a BIOS. Of course, we got an upgraded version of BIOS is UEFI, Extensible Firmware Interface. Okay. So what is this use of BIOS? BIOS help you to start your computer. Means you have to start, you have to press the power button. Of course, you have to press the power button. When you press the power button, how system should function will be done by BIOS only. During the boot up, it performs post operation power on self test. What is post? Power on self test. When you power on your system, system test itself. Make sure that your CPU, your RAM, your BIOS, your motherboard, on the motherboard components are working fine or not. Okay, working fine or not. Okay, so for example, morning you want to go somewhere. So first of all, you sit on your bike. What you will do? Directly, you cannot start now. So when you observe it, if you put a key and turn on your key, the on the display it will check it first to make sure that engine is good or not. First is engine symbol you can see on the your bike monitor also. That display engine is good or not. Any faulty engine immediately it will throw an error, right? So same thing for a system. For example, CPU is not working. Immediately it will throw an error. It means it shows. It try to tell you that this is the problem. How it will tell, we'll discuss that in a boot processing, but in a post. So when you power on the system try to test itself to make sure that all primary components like CPU, RAM, ROM, motherboard on motherboard chipsets are working fine on that. If hard disk is not working, it's okay because it's not on the motherboard. It is connected to motherboard only. Okay, but CPU is not working, RAM is not working. So then the further things will be stopped. So you will understand, you have to understand where is the issue, then you have to troubleshoot regarding to that one. Power on self-test. Next, when you power on your system, your BIOS chip is try to recognize the hardware devices connected. What CPU is connected, what RAM is connected, which slot RAM is connected, what type of RAM is connected, what size of the RAM is connected, what type of CPU is connected, what CPU features are available. Okay, what hard disk is connected, what a graphic card is you are connected. It will try to recognize the hardware devices. And also CPU locate and load operating system. This, okay, the BIOS will tell you where is your operating system. It will tell you boot order. It helps operating system to access hardware devices. It will helps operating system to access hardware device because BIOS knows hardware details. So it will tell the operating system, here is the hardware device. This is the IRQ number or maybe the what we can say address, memory addressing. Okay, so where is the device is located, how to access. It helps operating system to access the hardware devices also. And these BIOS chips are manufactured by different organizations. Yami BIOS, American Megatrend Inc., Edward BIOS, Phoenix BIOS kind of stuff. What is the firmware? Software that provide basic machine instructions that allow hardware to function, communicate with the other hardware running on device. Firmware provide a low-level control of device hardware. Okay, so this is about a basic things about your ROM chip. What is ROM? Read-only memory, non-volatile memory, permanent. It is on your motherboard. It contains a program called a BIOS. What is the BIOS? Nothing but firmware. And this BIOS updated version is UEFI, Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. What is the use of BIOS? BIOS performs post-operation, power on self-test. BIOS recognize your hardware devices. When you power on your device, BIOS recognize what are the devices are connected to your motherboard. BIOS also will tell you how to load operating system and where is your operating system also. Means the priority of loading operating systems. Helps to operating system. It helps operating system access hardware devices. Okay, this is about your structure. Up to this part only, I will tell, and we'll give you a small break, and we will be back in 10 minutes. Okay, guys. BIOS contains hardware information. We understand that one. So can we check or change some hardware settings through BIOS settings? So there is a BIOS settings. When you turn on your system, it may shows your system related logo, not a Windows logo, a Dell, Lenovo, like that, or your BIOS related logo like Adward or Phonics BIOS kind of logo it will shows. Immediately it will tell how to go to BIOS setting. You have to set up like that. Okay, depends upon the manufacturer of BIOS chip and the company, the your desktop or laptop company, depends upon that. The BIOS setup keys may be changes. Olden days, Dell is a fixed, means you have to how to go to BIOS setup. That is the question. You have to write answer, press the power button and press the Dell button. Delete button. Dell means delete button. Because that olden days we use a Dell as a delete button as a BIOS setup key. Then later on days, different companies, different BIOS, they change this BIOS setup keys. So for example, some companies use F2, some are using F9, some are using F10, some are using F11, some are using F12. How do you know? So try to search in a Google. Okay, we don't know exactly, but search in a specific model. For example, mm, better to search with a um, exact model also. Okay, better to search with a model number. Okay, so it is F2, it is showing. Okay, and it is showing F12 or F12 several times at BIOS Dell logo. Okay, it can be F12 or it depends upon the model also. So what is the most like that also you can try. F2 is also most laptops having a kind of stuff. You can say Lenovo. It is also showing you have to, sometimes you have to press the function key in your keyboard. You can see function key, F1 key plus F2 in on the top rows, like 1 2 3 4 is there now, above the 1 2 3 4 key on the keyboard. You can see that one. Sorry guys, I'm getting too much cough today. Okay. Okay. So sometimes you have to press function key and BIOS key also. So what we can able to do if you are entered into the BIOS settings, guys, some settings are permanent. You cannot change it, but some settings can be changed. For example, date and time. You purchase a new laptop or a desktop, date and time is not correct. So no is nothing yet. So you purchase a new desktop and there is no date and time is not good. You can change date and time and you can save the date and time with the BIOS. Next one is you can set a password. What is that password? It is BIOS password. It is not your operating system password, guys. It is your BIOS password. Some people, well, what will they will do? So they'll go to the BIOS and they will change settings. Okay, you are in your organization, you are having a desktop or laptop. In olden days, BIOS level attacks are also there. So they'll change the BIOS settings. They disable the device access, they enable the device access, some enable certain features in system. So what they will do, so to protect it from others, so what they do, they set a BIOS password. In your colleges, institutes, they disable the USB ports. So what I do, so I'd connect a USB port to access my pen drive. So the admin, what he will do, so he'll disable the USB port from the BIOS settings. But I can change it, right? I can revert it if I go to the BIOS settings. So to protect it, BIOS password, not operating system, guys. Operating system password is different from your BIOS password. BIOS password is different. Voice password is different. Next one, you can enable or disable virtualization feature. So here it is. You can enable or disable virtualization technology inside your BIOS settings. You can change boot priority. For example, I purchase a new desktop. Hard disk does not contain any operating system. I want to install operating system, my voice in my pen drive or maybe voice in my DVD. So how to change my boot priority, I am telling. So load from the DVD operating system first of all. Then we will change it to hard disk. Okay. And you can save and exit from the BIOS settings. So these are the things. First to go to BIOS settings. When you power on your system, immediately press the BIOS key. You know already, then you can press it or you can check on the logo. But it won't give you more time, guys. Less than a second it will go. Okay, what we can able to do? You can change date and time. You can change. You can put as settings like a password settings. You can change some hardware features like a virtualization technology. You can change boot priorities also. Not only that, there are so many things you can able to do. Once you have done, you have to save and exit. Press F10 or you can go to save and exit kind of stuff. Okay. Also, you can check the system configuration. You can see so i7 4500U model for this particular system is having a i7 fourth generation CPU, and it contains 8 GB RAM. This is 8 GB RAM and 1 TB of hard disk. WDC means Western Digital is there. And also there is a CD DVD writer is also there inside. 4 MB cache memory. See, I can able to get CPU information, RAM information, hard disk or SSD information, and DVD information is also available here. And is also very important to troubleshoot in a operating system is not loaded. So you can also BIOS settings also helpful to understand why it is not loaded. And also if you are seeing this virtualization is showing disabled. It is showing enabled, but in case it is showing disabled, how to enable it? So you can go to BIOS settings, find out where is this Intel virtualization technology. You can enable it. Okay. How to enable the virtualization technology feature? Go to BIOS settings and you can enable it. This is to set the password. Okay. And this is to change the boot priority. As per this boot priority, when I press the power button, so what it will do, 1 second, I will try. I can take that picture, that is a picture only, so it's simple, I can take it, but just try to explain easily. When I press the power button, my system is trying to load OS from CD-ROM. If CD-ROM does not contain any OS, then it will check from the any pen drive is connected with the operating system. No, I didn't connect it. Then it will check operating system from hard disk. Hard disk contain operating system, then it will load OS from the operating hard disk only. Okay. In case it is also does not contain, it try to check the operating system from network location. Means there is a WDS server is there, so it will try to load OS from the different OS servers are there, WDS services. Okay. If it is also not there, and it will keep rotating, OS is not found. Okay. So once again, for example, I want to install operating system, and with the pen drive contains OS. I connect a pen drive with the operating system. Now turn on my computer. First, it will check in the CD-ROM. CD-ROM does not contains any operating system, so it does not load any OS from the CD-ROM. And pen drive is having operating system. It try to load operating system from the pen drive. So like that, it will work. It is a priority. This priority also we can change it. I change my priority to hard disk as the first one and CD-ROM. Then my pen drive. My pen drive and network last. So again, it will verify from hard disk. Hard disk contain OS, load it. Does not contain OS, check from CD-ROM. It does not contain OS, check from pen drive. It does not contain, check from. For example, pen drive having a operating system, load from the pen drive. Okay, like it is a priority level servers. Guys, so up to here, BIOS settings. Understand how to go to BIOS settings and all. Anybody, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, BIOS battery. What is a BIOS battery? Oh, it is 1220. Okay. I try to go for a boot processing. Then in a boot processing, there is troubleshooting also included. Maybe if I have a chance to tell, tomorrow I will take boot processing with the troubleshooting also. But today, just what is what, we will see. Okay. What is this BIOS battery? Guys, lot of people say BIOS battery contains some information. BIOS battery is a battery. Think about your remote batteries, your phone battery, or maybe, torchlight battery. Is it contain any information? No, right? It is a battery. It's a battery with powers. What battery does? It give a powers. Laptop having a battery, it give a power to the laptop, right? Your torchlight having a battery, it give a power to that bulb. Same way, the battery is a lithium battery. It is. It is a lithium battery. It provide a power supply to your BIOS chip. Why we need a power supply to your BIOS chip? Okay. So we have a power supply, right? Why we need a separate power supply for BIOS chip? Guys, I said we can change something, right? It means it is temporary. You change, you can able to change date and time means it is temporary. You cannot change certain information. Okay. So you see, we cannot change certain information that is not temporary, permanent. You can change some information in the BIOS that is temporary. Date and times, passwords, settings, or configurations. These are all temporary settings only. If you turn off your system, power supply is off. If you turn off your system, power supply is off. When you turn off your system, the data in the BIOS chip, which is temporary, that temporary data will be lost. Okay. So what is the use of this CMOS battery? It is keep the data in the BIOS. So your date and time will be run. What are the password you are given? That will be available. If you remove the battery or battery contains battery charge is completed, what will happen? Your date and time will be resetted to factory default. Your BIOS passwords will be removed. Your BIOS settings will be changed to factory default. So this is what I'm trying to say. Okay. What is this? It's a lithium battery. This is your BIOS chip. It give a power supply to BIOS chip to keep this data alive. Guys, why it is called as CMOS battery? Of course, it become a habitual name to this battery. Really, it is not CMOS battery, it is lithium battery. It is also having numbers CR2032 like this. Each model having some numbers. Lithium battery test. What is this CMOS exactly? CMOS is a chip technology. CMOS is not a chip. CMOS is not a battery. CMOS is a technology used to build a chipsets. ICs, integrated circuits kind of stuff. Our CPU, RAM, ROM. Okay, these are all built by CMOS technology only. The battery 3 volt supply is suitable for CMOS. Means every chip need a power supply, right? So this battery is the voltage levels are suitable for a CMOS. That's why it is called a CMOS battery. It does not mean it is not built based on CMOS technology. CPU, sorry, the battery is not built based on CMOS technology. CMOS technology used to build a chips. CMOS is nothing but a complementary metal oxide semiconductor. It is nothing but MOSFET technology. MOSFET technology. PMOS, NMOS, combined CMOS. Okay. Maybe if anybody from CSC or IT, CSC backgrounds are there, ECE, ENTC people are there, they learn this VLSI designing CMOS technologies. Okay. Even those people also confusing with this battery. The battery again, lithium battery. The battery which is supports this CMOS based chipsets. Our ROM chip is CMOS based chipset. So the power is enough. It's 3 volts battery. The battery give a power supply to your BIOS chip to keep the data and run this chipset continuously. Okay. So that is the point I'm trying to say. Anybody having doubts in this one, CMOS battery, guys? If you remove the battery, the settings, the BIOS settings go to factory default. Anybody having any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. In generally, the troubleshooting part I'm not telling because yeah, that is I want to tell separately. So simple. If you are a CMOS battery is removed or maybe power is gone in the CMOS battery. Okay. So if you are getting this kind of error, CMOS check some bad or see some check some error. So the thing is, um, hmm, that thing is other battery is completed. You know, first time you got problem, that is you can change the settings and you can continue. But you are getting every time you boot your system, every time you power on your system, you are getting this one. It means either battery is damaged or maybe charging is done. So what you do? Go to the market, purchase the battery. Nothing, just go to the market, purchase the battery. Generally, the battery cost is 10 rupees. Maybe some people sell it for 20 rupees. Nowadays, the people branding the branding, that is now become 50 rupees. So these are the major components: CPU, RAM, and BIOS. And this is a motherboard back panels, and SMPS. And there is a hard disk. And there is SSD. Okay. Um, so that is the main point. Here it is. So what I will do, will send this only hardware part, not operating system part. That PDF I will share it. Okay, so you can read it. Okay, so I take class for last 1.5 hour continuously. Some are people are maybe not getting anything. But read it, guys. It is simple, like what is a motherboard, how motherboard slots are look like, what is the back panel. Any doubts also you can ask me now regarding back panels or front panels, connectors. What is USB? Okay. What is SMPS? Switch mode power supply. And what is this? So our ATX power supply, it is 24-pin connector to goes for a motherboard. Okay. There is a 8-pin connector, a 4-pin, 8-pin or 6-pin connector is there. This type of separate connector is for CPU. And for hard disk, internal hard disk, CD-ROM, there is a Molex connector in a olden days. Now we are getting this SATA type of connector we are getting for power supply. So we are using plus 12 volts, minus 12 volts, plus 5 volts, plus 3.3 volts into this one. Okay. So compulsory also read about a different type of storages and difference between hard disk and SSD. What is SATA? What is PATA? Okay. So if you are okay, then I can continue up to here. Not up to here, up to here. Okay. Otherwise, you can take a break. Not break. Hmm? Anybody? Can I continue? Just another 15, 20 minutes. So this part will be completed tomorrow. Either Sai sir or me will tell you the troubleshooting part. No one is responding. Okay, I will continue. Just I will tell 2, 3 points in each part. So guys, what is the motherboard? All the computer devices. It means your CPU, your RAM, your ROM, either on the motherboard or to the motherboard, it will become connected. You want to insert a graphic card, you will insert on the motherboard only. You want to insert some audio card, you have to insert on the motherboard. You have to add one more RAM, you have to add it to your motherboard only. You want to connect a hard disk, you have to connect it to your motherboard only. So you can try like this. So you can check it, just images. So how you are connecting your motherboard. So this is hard disk data cable. This red one is hard disk data cable. And see, this is a PATA cable. So this is motherboard, this is hard disk. How it is? You are connecting. Okay. The same way, yeah, this is hard disk only it is showing. Yeah, here it is. You can see this is hard disk. This data cable is connected to motherboard. Okay, you can verify very easily. Okay, anything you connect, you will connect it, either it is on the motherboard or maybe to the motherboard you'll connect it. Different slots are there. CPU slots are sockets, memory slots, expansion slots. What is the use of expansion slots? You can connect graphic card, IO cards are there, like a audio cards, extra NIC you can connect a network interface card. Okay, like a LAN card you will connect to the expansion slots, or maybe extra USBs you can want, then you can use this expansion slot to connect it. Different type of chipsets on motherboards, like a graphics related chipsets, LAN port related chipsets are there. Bridges are there, right? North bridge, south bridge kind of stuff. BIOS chip is also there. IDE is SATA connector for a hard disk and a CD-ROM connector. Floppy disk drive connector is removed now, no problem. Okay, we are not using floppy disk now. CMOS chipset, CMOS battery is also there on it. Okay, power supply connector, heat sink, and front panel connectors also there. These are the RAM slot. Then this is how RAM is inserted. These are the back panels of a normal desktop. This PS by 2, the PS by 2 is represent to connect your keyboard and a mouse. Nowadays, again, these PS by 2 are relaunched into the new desktops to either you can connect one keyboard or a mouse. Earlier, separate is there. Now it is combination is there to increase the utilization of USBs, because of most of the things we are connected to USB. One keyboard, one mouse, you are connected to USB means two ports are occupied already. So to avoid that one, again they're launching, they're putting this PS by 2 keyboard or mouse kind of stuff. This is for display connector. You can see this 15 pin display connector is there. You can say 555 15 pin display connector. COM port connector means RS-232 COM port, communication port, kind of stuff. Of course, we are very less we are using, that is called serial port. This is serial port. This is parallel port, LPT. Okay, now both are almost all gone. We are using USB. So this is a LAN port. We can connect with a wire LAN connection for a network purpose. USB ports you already know. And this is for an audio jack, like you can hear the things, right? For mic, speakers, and line in. So this is personal system. This is keyboard and mouse purpose. USB, VGA for your monitor or a projector. You can connect it, and of course, it is serial port to connect modems earlier days. But now mostly we are not using. We are if you are using some embedded system type of things, you can use it. This is LAN port. Of course, we know it for both the laptops and desktops. And this is important. That is HDMI port. Nowadays, most of the laptops and desktop comes with a HDMI port. Guys, VGA port transmit only display, only video. VGA only transmit video, okay, only display. But HDMI port both video and audio. So you can connect it to your LED TVs, LCD TVs, okay, projectors, speakers, like that you can able to connect. That is your motherboard. Next one is SMPS, switch mode power supply, ATX. ATX having 24 pin. Nowadays we are all using ATX. Of course, in ATX also different models are there. Okay, 24 pin, 6 pin, 8 pin, separate connector is there. This type of pin is this. You can see this is for a CPU separate power supply on the motherboard. This is for a direct entire motherboard power supply. This is for CPU related pin connector. So depends upon your motherboard, you have to choose your SMPS. Depends upon your total configuration, you have to choose your SMPS. Okay. So this is for a hard disk connector. It is different power supply. What is the use of SMPS? That is a point. So guys, in our home, we are getting power supply is AC power supply, right? In our mains, we are getting 220 volts to 230 volts AC power supply. 50 hertz frequency in India. In European standards, we are getting 50 hertz frequency AC 220 volts to 230 volts power supply. For a fan, refrigerators, we are directly using it. But this is an electronic device. Electronic devices works based on DC power supply. And our computer need a multiple type of DC power supplies, plus 12 volts, minus 12 volts, plus 5 volts, minus 5 volts, plus 3.3 volts, like this. Okay, different voltages required. So what you will do, we use SMPS. We'll connect a main power supply to our SMPS. SMPS is connected to our motherboard, our hard disk, our CD-RAM, okay, and a separate supply for a CPU, and any other graphic cards are there for a separate supply. We can able to connect. So what it is doing, SMPS converts this AC power supply to DC power supply and multiple type of DC power supply. So that is our SMPS. Okay. So this is your, I think you can read this one. Different type of storages, hard disk, floppy disk, tape drive, zip drives. You can search it, guys, in Google, how floppy disk, what is tape drive, and I given some information. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see. Actually, this is also should be covered. Whether I cover or not. Yeah, I will cover it better. Guys, in the main secondary storages, different secondary storages are there. Okay. And in our system, we are using hard disk or SSDs nowadays. Of course, we are using other type like a USB pen drives, external hard disk, SD cards. Also, we are using eMMC type of things like your mobile phone. The internal memory is stores into eMMC. Sorry, not X. Yes, C. So this is a kind of chips on your mobile phones, tablets, mini PCs or e-laptops. Mini laptops also available. You can search in e-laptops. There, this kind of eMMCs are there. Okay, so these laptops are having a 64 GB eMMC. This is also a storage. Okay, our important to thing is hard disk, guys. Hard disk is a magnetic storage. Both it is a volatile storage, sorry, non-volatile. You can store the data, you can connect or disconnect, and you turn on or off of a device. Data remains in the device. Okay, so that is non-volatile. Mass storage device, you can store huge amount of data in the hard disk. And there is a two type of interfaces. One is SATA interface, another one is PATA interface. What is this ATA? Earlier, the interface is IDE type. Okay. Now it is a ATA type of interfaces. Simple pin configuration, the speed of data transmission changes. What is ATA? Advanced Technology Attachment. What is PATA? Parallel Advanced Technology Attachment. It is a 40-pin connector. Use ribbon cable, like this cable. One side of the cable will go to the motherboard, other two are go to the hard disk. And you can see here it is a plotter actually store the data. This is called a plotter. It's a magnetic coating device. It is magnetic coating disk. It is store the data. SATA. Internal parts are for PATA and SATA is almost same, but only thing is interface wise different. It is 7-pin connector, single wire type. So this is a SATA type of interface. You can see PATA having pins, 40 pin. SATA having also pin 7 pin. The red cable is data cable to connect to the hard disk to motherboard. Even though these hard disks are having different sizes, 2.5 inches, 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches for desktops, 2.5 inches for laptops and mini PCs. Now we are also having an external hard disk. What is the use of this external hard disk? I think there is a picture, no picture. Okay. What is the use of this external hard disk? Okay. So you have a data, you want to transfer huge amount of data, or you want to take a backup and store into a place. For example, in my laptop, I have a huge amount of data. In my laptop, I have a huge amount of data. So what happened? In my laptop, I have a huge amount of data. My drives are become full. So you can see red color, 4 GB only left. So this is 6 GB. So what I have to do? There is a lot of data which is not required to be here. So I will transfer the data into external hard disk so I can use it another time. Okay. So this is external hard disk. Next type is SSDs, solid state drives. What is the use of these SSDs? This is also storing data. It is a NAND type memories, like your memory card type of storage only. Okay. Data stored in hard disk in platters. In SSDs, data stores in chips. It is also non-volatile. So comparison is important. That's why I'm trying to finish this part. Okay. SSD to hard disk is it is SSD is lighter weight, easy to carry, easy to transport. It consumes less power as compared to hard disk. Of course, size is also small. That's why we can easy to carry. And speed of data transmission, read and write of data is also good. Suitable for operating system and applications. Okay, so it is suitable for operating system and application. So it faster booting and faster loading of application is there. For example, there is heavy application is there. So you put it in the SSD, faster it will load compared to hard disk. Not suitable for legal data. I have a huge data, movies are there, application, normal, not installed application, just application packages are there, operating system packages are there. So huge amount of data loading is there. So I don't want to put in SSD because of SSD also costly. So if it is a desktop for operating system and application, use SSD. For regular data, use normal hard disk. Okay, you compare between the hard disk cost to SSD cost. Of course, compared to earlier, SSD cost become a little lesser as compared to earlier. And SSD is also two interfaces. SATA type of interface. Another one is this type of NVMe type of interface is there. SATA type of interfaces, instead of you have a old laptop, you have a laptop with a normal laptop hard disk. Now you want to change it. To whom it is changed? Like to change it to SSD. Which one you can able to change? You can change it to this type only, SATA SSD only, and not much difference, guys. Okay, a lot of people thinking nowadays, like they are keep asking, sir, my laptop having a hard disk. I will remove this hard disk and I put a SSD. Now I become a very faster. Nothing, because both are SATA. SATA maximum speed is 6 Gbps. Okay, so instead of that, so no need to change. So check the cost between normal laptop hard disk to this hard disk. If its cost is okay, it is anything is good. Okay, but this is cost is little high as compared to this, but it is faster than this one. For example, you're buying a new laptop and it contains the storage like SSD storage. It is NVMe type of storage. It is very good because it is directly connected to your CPU. Okay, like your RAM and CPU, how you are connecting to your motherboard. So same way you can able to connect your SSD to your motherboard. The writing and reading speed. See the speed difference between this type of SSD to this type of SSD. Okay, guys. So this is about your all network components. You discussed about a CPU, RAM, and hard disk and SSD and ROM chip. BIOS settings also we discussed, but I have done very continuously. But the recorded session, if possible, I will share the link to you. Okay, what are the recorded I have done for this session? So if anybody missed something you don't understand or you unable to get the point, so you can go through the record. Okay, that's for today. Anybody? So here it is. So, so 58, starting is 58. Yeah, tell me guys. Okay, up to here. Can we leave? Or you want more? Hmm? Tell me. Stop recording.